when people are trying to give you feedback on something they know absolutely nothing about, and you're just like, but is this critical feedback I can use? What's up, my good bad DJ crew? You know how we do here on Disc Jockey News. Today's Ask Kilma question is, how do I deal with feedback, especially if it's from those that don't know what they're talking about? Like literally have no experience in the genre or field that they are giving feedback on, or haven't even used these techniques themselves. Say you're a cake baker. You own a shop, you make these big fancy cakes. Maybe it's a specialty, you make vegan cakes, and someone comes in there and they're like, look, these cakes, they are tasty. They are. But you know what would make them better? Cream cheese. And you're like, hey, that is definitely an idea. Do you bake cakes? And they're like, no. I eat cakes. I eat a lot of cake. So, like, oh, so are you a professional cake eater? I think you get where I'm going with this. Sometimes people like to give feedback because they're too scared to actually try these theories out themselves. Sometimes people like to give feedback because they research stuff, but again, they're not really using it for themselves. Or they want to feel important, or they want to feel like a part of the process. And while some of these people might mean well, they might not come across the best way. What I like to remind people when they give me unsolicited feedback, especially if it is just ridiculous. I'll say this whether it's ridiculous or not. I like to share what I've learned based on people within the professional industry on whatever it is they're talking about. So, for example, if I wanted really critical feedback about my mixes or my music production or my shows, I would go to 3 different types of people. I would talk to a DJ about my DJ mix, a DJ that does really good DJ mixes, and ask them for critical feedback. Like, how can I improve on this mix? What are some things that you do or don't like about it, and why? If I was to get critical feedback on a tune, I would ask somebody whose music production skills and songwriting skills I respect, that I'm like, okay, if they give me feedback, it's going to be something I can actually freaking use. If I'm going to ask somebody about what do they want to see out at shows, or what was their experience at an event? Like, it's obviously going to be people that frequent my events or somebody else's events, and I want to get their feedback on that. Or sometimes I want to get feedback on my EPK or like the way my website's designed, and I'll ask people that, are typically my clientele that are going to show up on those websites. And I'm probably going to make sure I'm asking quite a few people when it comes to that, because I might have my target demographic, but one person might have a different answer from the next, and I might want a wider range of opinions on that. What I like to remind people when they give me unsolicited advice and I don't appreciate it is very simply, very respectfully, just let them know that I appreciate where they're coming from based on the research I've done. This is what I know to have worked. Your idea might work. Maybe I'll try that in the future, but at this time in my career, I'm good. Who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind in a month and I'll be like, oh my God, thank you so much for sharing this. But you probably won't. So yeah, kind of just understanding where people are coming from when they're giving you feedback, and then considering, like you said earlier, like some of these people have nothing to do with your industry, the music that you're playing, so their feedback isn't really relevant for you. Maybe that would be a good time to actually go ask for feedback from somebody in your industry about feedback that you got from somebody else. Like, what do you think of this when you hear this thing? And they're probably going to be like, well, that person's an idiot. No, they're not going to say that. They might say that.